Hi, so this is my video response to non-virginity, and so first I'd like to talk about my personal experience with virginity. I lost my virginity at the age of 5 to rape. I was raped by a neighbor. Thankfully, my family did not consider this as losing my true virginity. I consensually lost my virginity at the age of 15. I by no way endorse this or recommend it. I felt at the time that I was ready, and I've had to not regret my decision, which I don't. However, I don't feel that most people are ready, and I know most people don't think that they're ready at that age, and I by no way endorse running out and losing your virginity at a very young age. With that being said, when I lost my virginity, I did tell my parents. When I told my parents, my father quite honestly and quite literally told me that had I been a boy, this wouldn't be an issue. To which I responded with, "What? You're crazy, right?" And I think that brings me to just a societal double standard of, which my doctor shared when my mother took me to be on birth control. The societal double standard that if you're a boy and you get a girl pregnant, it's not your responsibility. I know my doctor told me that with her son, he was okay to have a girlfriend and go out on dates and stay out late because if he had sex and if he got a girl pregnant, my doctor wouldn't have to deal with the pregnant girl in her house, and my doctor wouldn't have to deal with the screaming baby in the middle of the night. She would only have to deal with her son. I find this appalling. I am a very, very firm supporter of the belief that it takes two people to create life, create a baby, so it's not a girl that's pregnant, it's a couple that's pregnant, in my opinion. So, I think that's a big societal issue as far as virginity is concerned, is once she's pregnant, as a woman, once you're pregnant, it's entirely your responsibility. And I know once I lost my virginity, my parents were so concerned about me being pregnant, it was crazy. Moving on to consideration of partners. I am a firm believer 100% in putting as much consideration into every single one of your sexual partners as you did with your first sexual partner. I know a lot of people, are just like, oh, once you've lost your virginity, you're just going to run off and sleep around with everyone, and I don't believe that's true. I know my father, I was talking to him about something, and a possible sexual partner of mine came up. It was a boy that I liked at the time, and my dad's like, well, if you like him so much, why don't you just go jump into bed with him? And I was so infuriated. I was so angry. I pretty much told my dad no. So I think it's really important to put a lot of consideration into who you're going to share the most intimate of human interactions with. That being said, I also think that it's important to bring up that once you've shared your virginity with somebody, I find a lot of people lose their big inhibitions and big fears about being sexually intimate with another person. So, if you know that it's right, it's okay not to have so many inhibitions and not to be so scared. And I think it's okay if you have put serious consideration into your sexual partner to engage in sexual activity with them after, your preferred amount of bonding time, getting to know each other time, whatever you want to call it. As far as society is concerned, I want to go into positives and negatives. Let me start with negatives first. I want to end on a positive note. I know negatives. When I lost my virginity as a girl, it was very much looked down upon by a lot of people, by the small percentage of my family that knew, by my friends that knew. A lot of my friends at first were angry with me, and it was talked about a lot in my school, and for a long time it was really looked down upon. Because people just thought I was a tramp, and I actually had a friend that asked if I would have sex with him just so he could lose his virginity because he knew that I was a girl that knew what I was doing and I wasn't going to give him an STD. And I was like, what? What did you just ask me? No! So, I mean, that's a big negative, is I think people label you as a tramp once you've lost your virginity, which I don't think that I'm a tramp at all. And I know a few people that have lost their virginity that they're not tramps at all. On the positive, I've become essentially like the little human inbox of all my friends' sex questions, relationship questions, intimacy questions, which is really, really comforting for me to know that I can help my friends in that way. I mean, I have personally, for a lot of my friends, broken the taboo of talking about sex with somebody, which I think it's really, really important to talk about sex. I mean, it's the basic human interaction. We all do it. It's important that we talk about it. So, I mean, it's very much a positive that my friends can come to me and that I can provide answers that I've had experience with. Another thing that was kind of positive was a lot of people, after they realized that I hadn't been with a lot of sexual partners and that I still held up my morals and my values, looked at me as being a little bit more mature and more knowing about things. I know I had an English teacher that whenever we would discuss literature of a sexual nature, she happened to know that I had lost my virginity. So whenever we would discuss literature of a sexual nature, when I had input, it was seen by her, as well as a lot of people in my English class, as being more valid because, I mean, in their minds, I knew more about what I was talking about. So I would like to end this with a note. To all of you who still have your virginity, I commend you. If you feel that's what's right, that's so amazing. If you feel the need to keep your virginity for moral, ethical, religious, personal beliefs, I commend you for staying so steadfast in standing up for yourself. To all of those who have shared their virginity with someone else, if you feel like this was the right thing to do, I am so happy for you. But if you do feel like you don't have anything special left to give, I would really, really like to tell you that you have an entire lifetime of special and intimate and emotional connections left to give to people and make with people. You have an entire lifetime of, just special, emotional, sexual experiences and non-sexual experiences. And just because you have shared your virginity with someone else doesn't mean that you still don't have firsts to share with subsequent sexual partners. You still have firsts to share with everyone, whether it's the first kiss or the first picture at the beach or the first time you have sex. That's still a first with that person that you have chosen to share this intimate, close thing with, and that makes it ridiculously special. I mean, you have chosen to share something so close and so emotionally powerful that in and of itself makes it worth giving and makes it special. So please, please, please don't feel like you have nothing left to give. And on a more provocative note, you can also share your little intimate tips and tricks with your subsequent partners, which I'm sure they will enjoy. So, thanks for watching. This is Lainey. Bye!